This is Mariel to her countrymen. On Communism.
Friends, I'd like to help clear up the confusion and division around the word communism. To do that, I'll tell a story, not just about communism, but about how the world's major economic systems came to be. I could have called this talk economics, but the word communism helps point out just how deeply people disagree about money, work, resources, and sharing. Some people deeply fear the concept of communism, almost as a reflex. For most of human history, people lived close to the land. Families gathered food, made tools, built homes, raised children, and shared land based on traditions. These systems looked different in different places, but many focused on sharing work, knowledge, and responsibility. People often traded with distant communities, often over thousands of miles. In many cultures, the most valuable wealth was not money, but wisdom, like how to grow food, care for others, and keep balance with nature. These were the first economies. Then cities grew. Farming intensified. Leaders built governments and markets to move goods and power on a larger scale. Over time, empires formed. Some used checks and balances, while others claimed divine rule. Systems like slavery, tribute, and taxes moved wealth and labor from many people to a few at the top. Across the world, with the largest hubs in China, India, and Europe, people developed powerful technology and economic systems. Then came a major shift. The scientific revolution, the takeover of shared lands, and European colonization created something new: industrial capitalism. Many people lost their traditional lands and had to move to cities and factories. They had to sell their labor to survive. The market, once just a part of life, became the center of life. Enter Karl Marx. In 19th century Europe, Marx saw how capitalism worked. He didn't only see a system for buying and selling, he saw a powerful engine for creativity, but one that forced people into harsh relationships. On one side were workers, on the other, owners. Workers needed jobs to live, but owners kept the profits. That imbalance, Marx believed, caused harm, and he wanted something better. He imagined a system where workers, not owners, shaped the economy. He called this idea communism. He drew on the ideas of earlier socialists and focused on creativity and revolution. Communism is a specific kind of socialism. Like many big ideas, the real world versions were complicated. Governments that tried full communism often used centralized planning. Leaders made all the decisions from the top, but that led to problems: slow progress, unfair systems, and punishment for people who spoke up. The government, instead of helping the people, often hurt them. Even a good idea can fail if it ignores human rights, local knowledge, and real participation. At the same time, capitalism brought its own problems, like climate change, massive gaps between the rich and poor, loss of cultures, and harm to ecosystems. So where are we now? We're still figuring things out. All around the world, indigenous systems of economy continue. Some have new names, some stay hidden, some return with pride. We see them in co-op farms, shared housing, community currencies, mutual aid groups, open source software, forest councils, and neighborhood-run solar networks. These aren't old or outdated. They're alive and they're growing. Meanwhile, many capitalist countries now protect workers' rights, and many communist governments use free markets to fuel innovation. We don't have to choose one ism forever. We also don't need to treat any system as unthinkable. Instead, we can ask better questions. What kind of creativity do we want? What kind of wealth should we build? Is our government working for everyone? We can measure the economy with better tools than just GDP. That system counts oil spills and cleanups as progress while ignoring real well-being. We can create tools that measure health, not just growth. We can build strong local systems that support justice, resilience, and joy. In the end, economies should serve life and not the other way around. Thank you.
Nature sounds and photographs sourced from the Creative Commons and public domain. Please refer to show notes or mariel.systems/tohercountrymen for attributions. Finally, please like, share, and subscribe to support the series. Thank you.